Okay, hello guys, good morning. So our theme for our project is impact of COVID-19 on employment. We're group three and our team consists of me, Zijun, and Nick Ilhan and Koi Zichen. So let's get on with the PowerPoint. So we're talking about three parts or the overview, which we're going to talk about the introductions and the background of COVID and the objectives that we are working on, and then the results and the summary of the project. So let's start with the overview. It's an analysis on COVID-19's impact on employment, and the data that we used were obtained from Kaggle, which is a website that you can get data sets from. And we used Python libraries such as NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib to help us make the project easier by simplifying the data cleaning and manipulating process. So, talk about the background. All of you know COVID. We've been through 4 years of it, but as a brief background, it started at the end of December 2019 and affected many parts of life, employment being the most prominent, and this can be thus proven by the global unemployment rate that reached 6.5% in 2020. It might be single digit number, but that is actually a lot since it did yeah. So the our objectives is to find the top three countries with the highest and lowest percentage of working hours lost, and the countries with the highest number of male and females employed over the age of 25. Now we move on to the first objective. Pass on to Zishan.
So these are the results that we gained through this project. Our first objective was to find the top three countries with the highest and lowest percentage of working hours lost. And from this, you can see that Peru has the highest amount of working hours lost, followed by Honduras and Panama. We can also deduct that all three of these countries are from the South American region. Due to COVID-19, the employment rate in Latin America and the Caribbean dropped heavily, affecting around 20 million people, which would make sense why Peru has the highest amount of working hours lost. Multiple sources also say that Peru was one of the countries that was the most heavily affected in terms of working hours and job employment during lockdown. And then we found the countries with the lowest percentage of working hours lost, which is Burundi.
Wait a second, sorry.
And rather than losing working hours, rather than losing working hours, Burundi managed to gain working hours due to the pandemic. But this doesn't align with sources across the internet, as they all state that Burundi was negatively impacted by COVID-19 in terms of employment and working hours. And Burundi is also one of the least developed countries and often faces poverty and low income.
Okay. So now we move on to the second objective. Now pass it on to Ilhan.
Next, we found the countries with the highest number of male and females employed over the age of 25. Based on this graph, we can observe that the top 5 countries with the most males and females aged over 25 employed during the pandemic are all from the same countries, being China, India, the United States, Indonesia, and Brazil. The 4 countries with the highest population in 2021, which is when the virus was at its most serious point, were China, India, the United States, and Indonesia, which links to why they would have the most people employed. Although occupational segregation favors women more, we can see that there seem to be more males hired at this time, so it shows that men have higher opportunities to get jobs. If you look closely at the graph, you can also notice that the amount of males over the age of 25 employed has a very big gap compared to the amount of females over 25 employed. In the start of the pandemic, the labor force participation for men was 70%, whereas it was only 40% for women, and that explains why there is such a huge distance. In conclusion, the COVID-19 pandemic has negatively impacted employment and working hours across the globe, ranging from Latin America to Asia. Although not all countries were evenly affected, many employment opportunities were lost and businesses were shut down. From these results, we can infer that the countries that were most affected by the pandemic tended to have lower employment rates. Consequently, we should look at how certain countries managed to maintain employment rates throughout the pandemic. That's the end. Thank you for listening.
Okay. Any question? Oh.
Yeah, I think it's very cool findings.
I
Yeah,
think
so
I
you
fumbled up a lot.